And CP24's Cristina Tenaglia joins us live now with more reaction to Scheer's resignation. Cristina.
I'm sitting here chatting with Zoe Knowles, a conservative commentator with Sussex, and we're literally in mid-conversation here as Jackie threw to us. Thank you, Jackie. So Andrew Scheer, nobody's quite surprised in conservative circles about his resignation, but perhaps the surprise comes from the timing of it. What do you make of that?
Well, I actually would say that this is good timing, because it means that everybody can take a break over the winter vacation. He can finally take some time to rest and really recuperate, because this has been a very difficult time for him. And everybody can come back once the House gets back into it in January, ready to go and ready to find a next leader for the party.
How much do you think the idea for him that circling amongst the media was this story that Conservative Party members paid for his children's private school, he's the leader of the party, that the publishing of those stories may make him go, that's it, this doesn't look good, I got to step down? How much of a factor do you think that would have been? And do you think it's appropriate for Conservative Party members, like card-carrying members, to pay for the leader's children's schooling?
So, we've known for some time that Andrew would not make it until the convention, that he would likely step down beforehand. I think that these details are still emerging. The party has released a statement. There was no misuse or misappropriation of funds, but as these details are emerging, it will be important for Andrew Scheer, as stepping down, to show that as the person who will no longer be taking the party forward, I only hope that his resignation will resolve the issue so that we can start talking about what the future of the party will look like.
So on that note, let's talk about the future. There's a couple candidates whose names have been tossed around here in the province. Caroline Mulroney, she has said no, it's not going to be here. Lisa Raitt said here on this great couch very clearly, absolutely no. Rod Phillips, Ontario's finance minister, formerly the lead of National Post Media, his name's being tossed around. His team has not confirmed the speculation yet or made any kind of comment. But what are you hearing?
Well, it's important to remember that nobody has actually said that they will do it. Everyone said no or no comment. So at this point, now that the leader has resigned only a few hours ago, I think we should be focusing less on who should be the next leader and focusing more on what the ideas are going to be.
So what does the party need?
So the party needs to expand its base. The Conservative Party is very good at appealing to our base, but as we saw in this last election, that was not enough, unfortunately. There's not a lot of room for growth in just appealing to our base, and that means we need to moderate, especially on social issues, LGBTQ rights, a woman's right to choose, those human rights issues, but also on climate change.
But then what do you say to those who are social conservatives? And on that point, I want to add, Maxime Bernier was the runner-up to Andrew Scheer during the 2017 leadership race. He had said during the federal election campaign that the current Conservative Party is no longer what would be traditionally a conservative party. How do you reach out to those people?
Well, I would say that the Conservative Party has always been a Big Tent party. This is meant to be a very inclusive party. And I would say that moving forward, what we need to really focus on is showing people that this is an inclusive party. This is a party for everybody across the country, for red Tories. This is a party for folks in the West. This is a party for downtown Torontonians like me. This is an inclusive party that cares about human rights issues, that cares about climate change, and that is a problem-solving party. This is not the time to start talking about energy versus the environment. This is the time to find common ground and show that the Conservative Party is a national unity party.
And you're talking about unity, and you said, you live in downtown Toronto. How big of an issue was that factor that, the Conservative leader, not popular in these urban centres, didn't make gains in Ontario, won't march in the Pride Parade, which takes place in downtown Toronto every year, massive Pride Parade? How big of an issue? I mean, what was the main issue? Or was it, hey, you couldn't form government?
Well, you know what? I would say that the next leader of the party really needs to look at how are we going to make gains in suburban areas, so especially the 905. The 905 has always been the weather vane for the party in an election. Now, does that mean giving Doug Ford a bigger role? Maybe, but where I think that we're going to see some real gains is in those social issues, climate change, same-sex marriage, a woman's right to choose. And that's where we're going to be able to really expand the party.
Last question. When will we see the leadership contest get underway formally, where we'll have a date for the selection of the next leader?
So the convention is still going to be in April, but I don't think that gives us really enough time to not only for folks to start throwing their name in the ring, but also for voters to really make up their mind, or at the very least for delegates to be able to make a decision. A lot of the delegates have already been chosen, so at this point the question is, well, do we go back to the beginning of the delegate process? Where do we go from here? What I will say is that I think it is understandable to expect that we will have a next leader of the party by the summer.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for that insight.
Thanks very much.
Zoe Knowles, conservative commentator, and we will continue to provide insight, of course, on this story. Jackie, back to you.
Okay, Cristina, thank you.